Record. Okay, so welcome everybody to a quick overview of the Madapps uh, mobile app editor training. And we're going to fly through a few things here, and you can pick up the bits that you find helpful and appropriate, and zoom on past and skip to the other things that you feel that are more important. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is simply to check in uh, with you that we all are on the same page in terms of understanding what an app is. And you'll excuse me if I sound naive in asking that question. But in actual fact, it took quite a while before I actually twigged that there were at least two different core styles of app. One is what we normally call an app, which is actually a native app, and it's an app that you download from the App Store on Android or Apple Mac. And that's what we normally think of when we think of apps. And the other style of an app is similar, but it's called a progressive web app or a PWA. And it's a bit like a mini website. I guess that's a way to describe it. And the PWA app is obviously available on any device, not just a phone that uses Android or iOS, because the PWA operates through a browser. And it doesn't matter if the browser is Safari on any Mac device, an iPad, a phone, or a computer, or on an Android tablet, or on a Windows laptop. It operates within a browser, and it doesn't matter whether the browser is Windows based or iOS or Android, whatever, Chrome, Edge, whatever. So those are the two types of app. And there are different advantages and disadvantages from using either system. But fortunately enough, your app through the Madapps mobile is both a native app, which is downloadable from the store, and a PWA. And we'll explain a little bit about the advantages. One of the advantages of the native app is that it makes push notifications a good deal more reliable. You can send notifications through to a PWA, but Apple do make it that little bit more complicated trying to send notifications to their Safari browser, which you would need on a PWA. So push notes are more robust on a native app, but you have a lot more flexibility with a PWA in terms of the devices that can access it and some of the features that you can have. And equally, you can have other features on a native app that you can't have in a PWA. And in regards to internet connections, there are some features and functions that will operate perfectly well on a native app without any internet connection, but they would fail unless you had an internet connection if you were using a PWA. So yeah, we can come back to that, but just bear in mind that's what allows your app to be accessed both as a download from the store and as a PWA within a browser on any device at all. So the first thing we're going to do is ask you to open up your app on the computer, on your computer, and that means just launch your browser and type in the URL that brings you to your app. And it'll begin with madapps.uk/. So that'll always be your prefix, madapps.uk/, and then the short name for your app, and that will launch your app within the browser. And you can't record, you can't minimize Zoom when you record. Okay. So now I'm going to share the screen and let you see that I've opened up. Here's one particular app that I've opened up, and you can see here the top. I'm just going to annotate some of this so you can see it more easily. Here's the bit here that you're interested in, madapps.uk/WMNI, and that will launch And just to demonstrate for you, I'll open up a new browser and type in www.madapps.uk/, and there's Journal 24. We'll bring the Journal 24 up. Journal 24. And there we go. There's the digital journal for next year, which you can hand out, and it allows people to put a little entry in for every day of next year and maintain their own little personal digital journey through the year. So that will bring you to the app. If you want, however, to edit your app, you simply do the same. You put in Journal 24 or the short name for your app, and then /edit. And that will bring you to the editor for your app. Now, it won't actually, well, it will bring you there directly if you've already been once or twice, but until you've signed in the first time, you'll come to a sign-in page where you have to give your credentials over so that not anybody can just go into your app and edit it. And your sign-in credentials will be your email address as the username and the password that you set up when you were creating the app. Now, when you go to the editor, you'll see here the different areas on the editor page, which we'll run through very quickly, and then give you a little bit of a guideline as to how to use them and how to approach things. Don't get overwhelmed by the fact that it's quite a busy page and quite old school in its layout. It's just something you will get used to, but that actually allows for a huge amount of customization and gives you a lot of freedom in what you can do with the app. So I'm going to show you the main areas of it, and if I can click on the vanishing pen here, and yeah, there we go. So over on the left-hand side, let's start here, and this is the main menu structure of the app on the left, beginning with dashboard, menu and pages, icons and media, and so forth. So we'll work our way through this main menu structure as we go today, but just to let you know that this is really where you'll start over on the left to get the section of the editor up that you want to use. The next section of the editor then is this middle column, and that's the list of all the pages on your app. We can collapse those down like that, or open them up. So there's your different sections. And then if we open that up, there's all the pages within each of those sections. And as I'm going past, you can see here, you can move that in and out just as you want. Now, the next aspect of the area here is this main part where you do most of your editing. So here you've got your menu, here you got your page list, and then here you've got your main editor. My goodness, that looks crowded. So just to explain that these buttons here, the hide and show buttons, you can see here, allow you to remove certain areas from the screen to give yourself more space. But we'll leave that open for now, just let you get a feel for the layout. These three buttons here, show metadata, show attributes, and show content. We'll take a very quick rundown to let you see what they do. So the metadata is really about how you add a page or delete a page or edit the name and some of the key priorities or features of the page, the main attributes. So if we pull in a page to let you see what I'm talking about here, there's membership and there's sign up process. Now you see in this area, we've got a page to enter text in this data, and membership process is its name. And we'll show the content and show the attributes. And here you've got the actual contents of the page. The name of it is here. It's membership, percentage mark, sign up process. And the percentage mark is just a way of distinguishing the difference in folders, really, if you're used to filing away things on a computer. So membership is the button that the sign up process is hidden under. So if we open up, this is your youth. And if we open that up in a browser window, you can see there's the book in or volunteer, and there's a sign in process. Now you can see that this button here on the app is called book in or volunteer. And then we've got sign up process, main parental registration, sign in, and link to Google Sheet, all underneath that. Uh, and back at the app, you can see that this is all labeled membership. And so the name here, membership, then percentage mark sign up process, brings you to this page here. And on this instance, the name membership does not exactly correlate with what you're seeing on the app, because this is an image created for that button, and the image carries the wording book in or volunteer, but the whole directory tree is just referred to as membership in your editor. We'll come back to the kind of naming process later. But let's go back then to see. This is actually a page of content. And if you want to edit the page of content, you click on Edit Page. And then I would nearly always expand that here so that you've got the full screen to play with. And on this page, you can see here that you've got all the tools that you need to do your editing up here. And we'll run through those shortly. But I'll point out that on the page, you've got ordinary text here, and we can type, and you see you can add text, and a bit like a word processor, you can do whatever you want with it. You can drop in images and videos, the whole shebang. But also you can see here that we've actually dropped in a Google form. Now that might be a little bit advanced for some just yet, but you'll get used to being able to drop other things into your page as if they are just part of the very page itself. But that Google form is obviously carried over from your Google Forms, and this is embedded into the page in your app. But we'll come back to that. Just want to let you see the editor and how to use it. And we use that same button to come back here, and you can save and publish or abandon changes. So that's the editor of the page. We'll hide that content. If you wanted to edit the metadata, you'll click edit metadata, and say you wanted to change the name of this page, and that would change the name on the app. It would change this name here, the sign up process. If we were to change that to sign up, please. And save. There we go. Then all we've got to go back here is refresh and sign up, please. See, we've changed the name here. Now, if you go back and edit the metadata one more time, I want to be able to show you that there are two different types of page availability. Well, there's more. There's actually 4, 5, 6. But the essential bit to understand at the start is that you can pick between a page of content that you create and you put into your word processor type editor, or it's a link to another page on the web. So those are the two main styles of page that you might work with in the early days. Page of content that you create yourself, or a web link to an external web page. It could be anything at all, anything. And then there are pages that you can draw in from our resource library. You can actually partially embed a Google document or a Google spreadsheet, and this mechanism will fetch the data from a Google spreadsheet or a Google document and update the page within your app. And so if you have a Google document that you want somebody else to edit for you, you could give them the Google document, but you could embed it into the app. So the result of their work on the Google document is updated within the app, even though they're nowhere near the editor. And then this is where you can bring in some of your team up calendars. And then there's another specialist function that we're working on here for shuffle packs and quizzes and polls, which would be actually really handy. But we'll get back to all of that. Let's stick with the basics. Pages, content that you create yourself within the app, or web links. Those are the first two that we're going to look at. This one happened to be a page. Let's just abandon those changes. So that's how you add, delete, and edit the page details up here. Uh, these are some stats on the page and how many people have viewed it and so forth. And then the attributes of the page. This is where you can designate a particular page as content only for your leaders or only for your parents. You can see you can just check here, or you can give a certain page for folk who are leaders and parents. It's your choice, but this is how you can discriminate content within your app by creating groups in the app. See over here, groups and settings. You can create a variety of groups and then tag certain pages just for that group. You can equally put in a security code for any particular page. So in this sign up please document, if we create a page key for that, let's just call it 1234 and save that page code. That now means that folk cannot actually land on that page through the app or online on the web unless they have the security code. So we click on there and hey presto, there's now a dialog. It requires the code, and there we go. It's not letting me in because I'm not putting in the correct code. We know that the code is 1234. Let's just check that I've typed it in correctly. And there we go. Now you can go onto the page. There are any number of reasons why you might want to protect a particular page in the app. One of them could be that you have a page that links to the phone numbers of all the parents of the children, and you don't necessarily want even all of your leaders to have access to that. You might just have one designated leader who is able to use the parent directory. So you put a link to your parent directory within the app, but protect it with code. So that's one of the types of attributes that you can associate with a page. You can also give a page a particular color or background. And if we do that, you can see if we open the page again, just refresh this, bring it up to date, and we go into that page. And I thought I had taken that off, but let's just submit that. And there we go. Now we've got a different colored background to the page. Let's go back and I didn't save the page key. There we go. I didn't save the page key. Save page key, and there we go. And the target equals blank, a very quick explanation about that, because it means that if the page that you're working on is actually just a link to another page in the web, this will make sure that the page is opened in a new tab. But we'll come back to that as well. So those are some of the basics. We can hide the attributes and show the content, and we'll go through those things shortly. But we'll I just want to check that we haven't had somebody join us at 4. Someone was going to come in at 4. But while we're waiting for the other person to come in at 4, I'll jump very quickly to the groups and settings, just to let you see that there are a series of groups that are already set up for your app because you took the Your Youth app as your basic template. And that has given you these 5 different groupings to begin with. Now you can use those or ignore them. They're just default groups. Where you might want to restrict some content just for your leaders. You might want to restrict some content just for your parents, or admin for getting people to review something for you and so forth. The youth group is just one that you could uh, change around. You don't actually need a group for youth, because if you don't want to tag everything on your app for youth. Just don't use the youth group except for a specific purpose. All of the pages on the app, by default, once you've published them, are available to everybody. The only pages that are not available to everybody are the pages that are tagged uh, with one of these groups, or another group if you've set it up. And that's just let you see the default passcodes there can be changed by you at any stage. So if we go back to the menu and pages, and you decide, as I say, that sign up, please, if you were to designate that, uh, here we go, sign up, please. And if you were to designate that as a parent only page, we click that there. Uh, and then we go to the, yes, it needs a passcode. So there we go. Uh, let's go back and open this up. Oh, page needs a passcode. 1 second. It's saved. And let's just make sure that we've no page code recorded for that, but we are putting a parent code on it. And let's go back and refresh the app. Oh, I've done something with the icon. But if we click on here, you can see that that page has now disappeared from the menu. What did I do with the icon? Oh, it was carrying the icon from the parent page. So there we go. Let's go back to, there we go. Main sign up, please. And because that is labeled with parent, it now doesn't appear. Let's just take that parent page off, because that's mucking up the icon. Let's go to parental main publication. So you can see here, this page, membership, percentage mark, main parental registration. If we tag that as a parental page and we go back to the app, hit refresh, and I've done something the other one. Let's go there, and you can see that page has disappeared from the menu. But I'm going to show you how to get it back. Now, in playing about with this, I clicked on the welcome and get started, and there we go. Let me see if I have got this back to normal. There we go. So we've removed that particular page that is labeled for parent here, membership, parental registration. It's tagged as a parent page, and it's now not appearing in the menu structure. The way to get it in the menu structure is to tell your parents to go to the About page down the bottom, triple click on this, and then put in the parental code here. So that would be parent 247. And let's just give them a name and click on send code. And there we go. It now appears parental registration. This here appears actually because I also happened to put a parent thing against the welcome. Let's get rid of that and go back. So the main parental registration now appears within the app because I have signed in using that process as a parent. Now, in general, you're probably going to put all the pages that you want for your parents in this tree here. In the tree belong to all the parents, and similarly, all the pages belong to the leaders here. And there's just to show you again, there's leaders and staff rotas. And if we go back and go to leaders and staff rotas, and if we click on leader there for that, so there's the page, staff rotas, we've clicked on leader, and we refresh this and go back to leaders. Now staff rotas is not in the list. To get it into the list, I click in here and sign in as a leader. So this time the code is leader 007, and any name will do. Click on send passcode. And now if we look at leaders, we can see staff rotas has now appeared. So that's a little bit of an overview of uh, how to use the attributes relating to a page, designating it against a group, adding a page key to protect it, and we'll come to the linkages in a moment. But I'm going to pause there and check if there's any questions. So if you want to give me a question or two at any point.